Greetings, and welcome back to Portuguese Distortion, episode number 9. That's right, we've been doing this for 9 weeks straight. I love it every single week. As always, thank you to Joanna and Daniel, the editors of Portuguese Distortion, for allowing me to do this every week. Last week's episode was fantastic. Our buddy Phil put it together, and it was one of the best I've done yet. This week, the gods looked down upon the earth and said, "Let there be Thrash." That's right, it is a Thrash-focused, Thrash-themed list, and as there's not a ton of Portuguese news that I have been made aware of in metal this week, we're going to get right into this beast. The first track we're doing, the first band, is the band Lyzzard. The track is Yakuza. Been around for 5 years, and this track comes off of their first full-length Savage. It was released in 2017. So, Lyzzard, Yakuza, let's get into it. Here we go. Alright.
From the earliest times in Japan, many highly skilled swordsmiths have forged extremely fine swords.
Interesting that they're
Today,
going with a
modern-day swordsmiths are respected as
documentary as an opening here. It's a very cool concept.
Without good steel, a good sword cannot be made.
Excellent way to start that off. Really like the riffs here. Great melodic lead playing here. Definitely have a very 80s-like feel to this. Oh yeah, really early 80s thrash. Big minor third harmonies here. Really like his voice. Get a big bite of that power metal, bit of big bite of that new wave of British heavy metal influence. Waiting for the gang vocal, there it was. Really mild distortion gain here to get that 80s sound. Nice, slick, polished production. Really straightforward in the pocket drumming here. Nice fill. Like that little guitar lick there. Wouldn't be an 80s style metal track without a big laugh. Kind of reminds me a bit of Sabotage. Really phenomenal drum fills here. I like how it led into this shift. Also has a big, like, early Armored Saint feel, and I'm a huge Armored Saint fan. Love this guy's lead playing. Got a great melodic sense in how he phrases. Nice bit of tapping there. Certainly some of the runs I would expect. Do you get a bit more of that Chef Duncan, Pete Sandoval, Dave Pritchard feel in that solo from Umber Saint? Really tasty, tasty stuff here. There's the air raid siren. I love the way that bass line was following that guitar line there to close that out. That was Lyzzard. That was
I would like people to appreciate
Yakuza
the sword for its character and for the beauty of its simplicity.
That was awesome. That's a fantastic way to open this one up. 5 tracks of thrashy goodness. That was the band Lyzzard. And the 80s cheese is all over it. And it's done very well. It's done very tastefully. Guy's got a phenomenal voice. Both guitar players sound great. As I said, I really enjoy the lead choices of their guitar player. Definitely got a great melodic sense. A lot of the runs I would expect if you're playing to the 80s influence. All the tones sound good. I like that they're going for that 80s feel, so it's a bit more mild in the gain and the distortion as opposed to the high gain environment we live in today's metal, which I love as well, but it is nice to hear that dialed back a little bit. Bass tone sounded great. Bass player had some nice little bits they were doing. Drummer had some phenomenal fills. I like the way that led into that break, and just a really enjoyable track. You're listening to it, you can hear the influences. They're all over the place. They're all over what they're doing. Wait for the gang vocals. Gang vocals pop up. It's tasty. It moves along, and it's a really enjoyable track. The next band we've got coming up is the band Wanderer. The track is Way of the Blade. Band was a request a couple of weeks back by Andre Alaska. They released their demo in 2014 and their EP in 2017, which includes this track. Apparently there might be an album from these guys coming up later this year, so let's check them out. The band is Wanderer, the track is Way of the Blade, and here we go. Get more of that 80s feel here. Love how they've managed to capture that big 80s drum sound, especially with the toms. Bassline starting to rumble and cut through the mix a little bit. I like it. Another really big early 80s thrash throwback here. The logo looks a little bit like the Voltron logo, but it's still pretty awesome. like the big prevalent ride bell there. Really nice bass work. Really like how prevalent that is, but I do want the guitars to be a little more ballsy. Just thinking that up just a little bit. Give me a little bit more of. I think Daniel and Joanna did a great job going from Yakuza to this, kind of keeping that similar imagery and swordsmanship aspect. Certainly a nice choice here to structure it this way. Big pick scrapes there. Where are we going? I really like the clarity of that symbol word. Like the solo and the way it's moving. Honestly, though, the standout for me here in this track is this rhythm section. The clarity of that bass playing, the ability, just how smooth it is and how much it adds to the track, along with the really strong in the pocket drumming. Nice shift to a tap phrase there. The counterpoint in the leads. I like it. Again, the new wave of British heavy metal influence is all over this. The early thrash, the Exeters, and what have you is all over this. Certainly get a bit of that early accept as well. Don't know if I would have gone after those vocals there, but at least he took a shot at it. Let it close out a little bit of that rising sun. Alright, that was Wanderer. The track was Weight of the Blade. It was enjoyable and it was solid. I say solid because I do wish the guitars had they need more balls. I want to hear that tone be a little bigger, and that's certainly a personal preference. I do love how audible the bass is in the mix, and it certainly is the driving force in the track, along with the drums. That rhythm section is very, very tight. I like the riffs, but they're really, really, really familiar. You certainly get the Accept, the Exeter, and all that early new wave of British heavy metal influenced feel. And the thinner tone, they just the riffs overall, at the speed they're being played, the thinner tone, they're a touch on the muddy side for me. Vocals aren't bad. They fit what they're doing, but overall, it's a solid track, but it's an enjoyable track because it is so familiar. And they've got that fun fantasy swordsman vibe going on. So the lyrics are enjoyable. And overall, if it comes on, it's a fun listen. But I'm not overly blown away, especially coming off of Yakuza. I certainly would listen to more of their stuff, and probably will check out more of their stuff. But overall, certainly enjoyable. The next band we're checking out is, I'm gonna screw this up, but I know I am. Filii, Nigrantium, Infernalium, and the track Guerreiros do Trovão. Warriors of Thunder is the translation there. Been around since the late 80s, early 90s. Oh wow, so we're certainly going back into the history of Portuguese bands here. They go from black to thrash, or they like to say they play necro or rock and roll. The song was originally composed in the 90s, but only released in 2015. Apparently, they've released 2 records so far this year, and this one is a recording of a 2005 demo. So, let's check them out. I'm just going to simplify this a little bit. I call the band FNI, and the track is Warriors of the Thunder, and here we go. Oh yeah, I like it already. Certainly hear the old school feel. In this case, it's certainly there. You get that blackened thrash going on. These riffs make me very, very happy. I like the tone, I like the sound, I like how thick they are in the guitar tones. Really like the vocal. Nice bit of tapping there. Love that bass work. That's locked in tight with the drums there. Really like the way these riffs are shifting. Gotta be honest, that squeaky lead tone is actually really enduring. I like the solo trades going on here. absolutely stellar lead work. And I love that riff going on into the solo. It's really tasty. Like that change. Video is certainly interesting. Furious driving riff here is awesome. Mix those black metal influences in really seamlessly. It is so hard to find good black and thrash. And I am very happy that I am now finding these guys. Nice vocal to kill that out. That was Filii, Nigrantium, Infernalium, the track Guerreiros do Trovão, and that was awesome. Highly enjoyable. Lots of fun, great riffs, great musicianship overall. The production is clean enough that I get to hear everything, but it's murky enough to satisfy most of the black metal purists and to give it that mystique. And the riffs are awesome. Track is an absolute riff fest. The lead trades are really well done. Both players are quite good. I really enjoyed the vocals, and they certainly fit what they're doing. It's a track that will immediately go into playlists that need some black and thrash, because it's an awesome, tasty, enjoyable track. Nice to hear these guys, especially since they have been around for so many years. And you certainly get that feel that it was written in the 80s and 90s. And it's really, really, really nice to hear such just enjoyable black and thrash with a mix that doesn't kill it. It does the track and that feel justice. But I can hear everything. That's the most important thing to me, is being able to hear what's going on, but still having some of that grit and that nastiness. It's not overly polished, but I'm able to hear it. Awesome stuff. Truly enjoyable. That next band is Midnight Priest. They have the vocalist from Toxical in their ranks. This comes from their 2014 album, Midnight Steel. Apparently they did release a song in January. They've been kind of quiet, so I guess there might be a new record on the way. We'll have to see. Certainly love and enjoy the Toxical guys, so it'll be nice. And enjoy the vocals, so it'll be nice to hear Midnight Priest. The band is Midnight Priest, the track is Hellbreaker, and here we go. Probably should have warned you guys to pull out your leather and your spikes for this one, or your denim. certainly knowing the singer from Toxicals in the band, you're going to get that very early 80s vibe again. Even get that very early 80s drum sound. Outstanding. Get a bit of that early Halford and his little high-pitched air raid siren. This is so much fun. The moment I heard that he was singing for this, I knew it was going to be a fantastic track. I mean, you certainly heard the riffs. Certainly heard all this lovely, glorious 80s cheese, but they're doing it so well. That early Priest sound just oozes from this. The video's enjoyable. Get a little bit of that almost Mad Max-ish feel in the video. That post-apocalyptic thing. Really strong fills by the drummer here. Nice riffing solo here. Of course, why not do it on the hood of a Mercedes? Might as well look awesome and badass while you're ripping it in your video, right? Fantastic lead change. Great way to exit that into this really tasty riffage. Great way to finish that up. That was Midnight Priest. The track was Hellbreaker. And again, it was an awesome, highly enjoyable, highly filled with 80s cheese and early Priest influenced track, and it was a lot of fun. They nailed all the elements. They definitely have managed to capture that very early 80s production style, drum sound and all. guitar sound, bass sound. It all sounds like you're listening to it sounds like you're listening to what might have been a long lost Priest track that another band kind of got a hold of and put a couple of twists on. And honestly, I can't find a problem with that. I really can't. Highly enjoyable, really tasty solos. The vocals were going to be good because I really enjoyed the Toxical guys, and he's got a heck of a set of pipes on him. Gotta love the Halford influence. And those big air raid sirens that he's got going off constantly. Outstanding, highly tasty, highly enjoyable. And believe it or not, that was track number 4. So the last and final track we've got going on is from the band Perpeträtor, and the track is Jungle War. Formed in 2008, only recently released a full-length in 2014. This comes from their second full-length, Altered Beast, which was a highly fun and highly enjoyable game that came with the Sega Genesis. I believe it came with the original. I believe it actually came with the Genesis, the first incarnation of it. Released this year. Apparently the bassist vocalist is also the bassist in the third band we did here, Filii, Nigrantium, Infernalium. And one of the guitarists also plays in Extreme Unction, which I did in the third episode, and Extreme Unction were a lot of fun. So, Perpeträtor, Jungle War, last track we've got on tap for you today, and here we go. Bit richer, heavier guitar tones here. Straight riffage out of the gate. I like it. Really phenomenal solo here. I like the tremolo work he's using. Certainly get that early Slayer influence here. Really like the vocals, they fit so much of what they're doing. The video is disturbing. Love this groove. Love those riffs. Love this lead work. Really like that kind of easygoing, simple blast there. It does really good things. These riffs are so insanely tasty. how much they use their lead guitar player to accent their passages. I just love this early Exodus, early Slayer feel, just drenched all over this track. All right. Really awesome to read what it's about. Wow. After reading the end of this here, I love it even more. That's highly impressive. So, not only was it an amazing track, it had an incredibly powerful message. And to pay tribute to both sides and the service and the sacrifice that those men and women made is incredible. And gentlemen, not only have you earned a fan, you've earned my absolute and utter respect on top of it. Truly, it's an awesome track. The Slayer and the Exodus influence is all over it. The message is incredibly powerful and incredibly important. And I do this on very early Wednesday here in the United States. And we just had Memorial Day here in the US on Monday, where we remember all of those that have fallen and made the ultimate sacrifice. And as a combat veteran myself, this is that is so powerful and so incredibly awesome. You guys would put that dedication in there at the end. Hat goes off to you, gentlemen, and everything your country has had to go through and endure. You know, while we had both the Civil and the Revolutionary War here in the U.S., or the Civil War, the Revolutionary War, War of 1812, the Civil War, of course, the French and Indian War before that, and the couple others, the War for Texas independence in the 1830s. But you guys have gone through that much, much more recently, and while we've certainly been at war for a while here in the States with other, you know, it's incredible what you guys have persevered through, and it's great to see that you've taken that and put it into constructive use, writing some phenomenal thrash. Love the track. It's a hell of a way to finish this out. So I tip my proverbial hat to Joanna and Daniel once again for putting together a phenomenal playlist. If Slayer, well, shall I say, if Kerry King decides that he wants to continue the Slayer brand, I think he's found a new bass player vocalist. His guy is awesome. He's got a great voice. He's a phenomenal bass player. Certainly has a lot of that feel of Tom Araya. Really like his vocals. Really like his playing as a bass player. Love the amount of solos all over that. They're calculated to sound wild and uncontrolled. They certainly did. And it just added to an awesome, awesome track. Overall, man, this is a great list. I really don't feel there's a bad track in the bunch. I'm not going to pick favorites. I don't want to make one band feel lesser than the other. But I enjoyed every single one. I'm a big fan of thrash. It tends to be a go-to for me. And Portugal certainly has an incredible thrash scene, and an incredibly diverse one at that. You get a lot of the 80s stuff as well as a lot of the modern stuff, some of the hardcore influences, some of the black metal influences, the death metal influences. Depends on what band you want to listen to. And I'd be curious to know what, somebody let me know in the comments, contact me on Facebook. If, like in the States or in Europe or in other parts of Europe, does the style of thrash depend on where you happen to be located in Portugal? I mean, here in the US, we've got the Bay Area scene, we have the New York scene, we had the Florida scene. Does location and region have an impact on your thrash scene? I would love to know. I'm certainly more and more curious, and of course, it'll also make things a bit more calculated when I come to see you guys here hopefully in the next few months. So, thank you all for the incredible support for this program. I love doing these every week. It has been an incredible 9 weeks, an incredible 9 episodes, and I have found so many bands that I have become a fan of, and so many records that I enjoy personally that I would not have had a chance to hear if I haven't been doing these. And I know some of the subscribers on the channel that wouldn't know a lot about a lot of this stuff either. And I truly appreciate the hard work that Joanna and Daniel put in. I appreciate the hard work that you guys put in making requests, and the bands reaching out as well. It has been an awesome, awesome thing. I look forward to seeing what is on tap for week number 10, because I am always excited to do Portuguese Distortion episodes. You got any bands? Do the usual thing. Contact Portuguese Distortion's Facebook page. Contact me, and I will relay it on to them, because they do put the lists together for me. And we will try to get you on, or get your band on, depending on what they want to put together each week. If you got any more metal news, let me know so I can talk about it here during the episode. Thank you all. Thank you for letting the growth of these episodes continue. The more people that check you guys out, the better these bands can do. I love you guys, as always. You have been awesome. I have been Baldman. I will see you next week in Portuguese Distortion, episode number 10. Have a good one. Be excellent to each other, and keep headbanging.